Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live with the Roxy on this Thursday, December 30th, second to last day of the year of 2021. Fucking nuts. Oh boy. I want to go over highs and lows because we talked a lot about our favorites of the year, big moments in television and movies and pop culture and music. But there's that category of our own lives that we don't talk that much about. On this show we do, but in life. And so I wanted to hear a little bit from you guys about some of your highest highs, your lowest lows, because there sure have been a bunch in this year. And if you want to say there hasn't been any highs, that can't be true. And if you want to say there haven't been any lows, there's just no fucking way. But there are some of each. And as I was making my list, I really tried to concentrate more on the highs than the lows, even though in general, I don't feel like it's a net positive year. I still want to have more highs than lows. So we're going to go over my personal highs and lows, some of them that you guys know about and lived with me through, some of which you guys might not know about or might have missed. And I want to hear from you guys. So streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, super chat in, get in your highs, get in your lows, and talk a little bit about yourselves. Thank you for everybody who is in here with me live today. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Not Rick Zamora, Scott Welsh, Andrew Thomas, PLD, Glenn Caesar, C. Lou Bonino, Ryan Payne, Ethan Dayton, John Bainbridge, Lauren, to French Taunter. Can't believe I just figured out who French was with French Taunter. I didn't know. Mohammed Belsin, Susie Easton, my girl, and Robert Rogers, George Pruitt, everybody else, send them in. I know I've asked you guys to look at your goals for next year, and we can talk a little bit about that tomorrow, as I'll be live tomorrow because here I am, always am. And I we can focus on that. But I think in order to move forward and think about what you want your next year to be, you kind of have to look at what this past year was and figure out what worked, what didn't work that wasn't your fault, and what didn't work that might have been your fault. And so I think that it's a cool time to go over these highs and lows. Don't be shy. I want to hear. And it's not braggadocious either. If you want to share a high, then share that high. If you want to share a low, share that low. I think I'm going to go back and forth so that we don't just fucking stick on the lows for too long, because that gets a wee bit depressing. So I'll go back and forth between highs and lows. But before I get to any of my personal ones, shout out to you guys in the Streamlabs. Thank you to Glenn Caesar for starting us off, who says, Roxy, there's only 7. Nope, that's yesterday. Hello and a good day to you, Roxy. Sending well wishes and thanks for hanging out. Happy 5th day of Kwanzaa to all who are celebrating. Today's word is Nia, purpose. I don't know if it's Naya or Nia. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, your dad, Jet, Sky, Grammy, and Papo, and your family. Thank you. Be most excellent to yourselves and to each other, RJ Rockstars. Thank you, Roxy and Rockstars, for being good people. You're the fucking best. You're the best we could ask for. Keep being fire always and in always, because you are being an anomaly. Thanks, Glenn. C. Lou Bonino in the Streamlab says, I want to give my highs this year. I got my cancer-free bill, and my niece is healthy. Just pausing on that before I read the rest of it. Fucking amazing. That's awesome. The low is our political climate, a climate in Argentina, and the ban on using our money. I don't even know what's going on. There's a ban on using your money. That's how non-worldly I am when it comes to Argentina. What is happening? That sounds like a fucking disaster. So for the purposes of this, of course, we're all affected by politics, and we're all affected by other people's plights and pain and journeys. But I really tried to make lists of things that were about me, because otherwise I didn't want to spend an entire episode talking about Trump being gone and all the amazing shows I watched that brought me so much joy, and Britney being free, and Biden being a total disappointment in a lot of ways, but I guess okay in other ways because he's not Trump, but still not great. I felt like I was going to go into like a political deep dive if I started talking mostly about the highs and lows of the world. So for me, I'm just going to really try to focus on the things in my immediate life. Again, not that politics aren't in my immediate life, but things that happened to me and not to the world, if that makes sense. But you guys send in whatever your highs and lows are. That can be anything on any spectrum. So thank you for sharing, Silu, and your cancer-free bill. What could be better than fucking that? You don't realize how important your health is until you don't have it. And I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So send them in streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Let's start with an obvious low. A very obvious low for me was getting COVID. It sucked for a lot of different reasons and still kind of sucks. It sucks because I am one of millions of people who got COVID, and that sucks that that's the state of our world. It sucks that I was triple vaccinated and still got COVID as one of the few breakthrough cases that was as bad as mine was. It sucked that because of I think it's because of my autoimmune disease, I got really, really shitty COVID. Not really shitty to the point where it killed me. So thank you to science and my vaccine, and especially for protecting my loved ones. And it also sucks because I feel like while I'm no longer contagious and no longer positive for COVID, I'm definitely still suffering the ramifications of it. When I walk upstairs, I have to sit on the top of the stairs for a while. It's very hard to breathe sometimes. I definitely still have COVID brain. Yesterday, I was working on something with Winston, and after a little bit, I was like, dude, I know I never say this, but I'm like fucking out of it. I'm tapped. I can't get out of bed early. My body like will not move. It's hard for me to get out of bed before fucking noon, which is so unlike me and just a crazy thing. So it's very obvious low that I'm one of just so many fucking people that has that low, but how am I going to not say that getting COVID was not a low of the year? It was definitely a low of the year. And it canceled my trip to Florida to see my sister. I was alone for Christmas, although I was with you guys very luckily. So for all the reasons, fucking COVID, fucking COVID. If I could choose who would get it of the people that I love, it would be me. So that was the best case scenario. I just am bummed that I got it and that it's still affecting me. I can't get on my bike still, which you guys know I love to do. Trying to do stretches, I feel like super fucking out of breath. If I stand for too long, I get dizzy. I still have these fucking spasms going on. So the COVID thing, the COVID of it all. I guess that's not a good way of describing it, but you guys know what I mean. So that would be a low. You guys let me know what your guys' lows and highs are. Lauren in the Streamlabs says, I've avoided thinking too hard about highs and lows so far. My dad almost died of COVID. I lost my home and belongings to Hurricane Ida. And it feels like life is never going to be normal again. But I'm still here, on to better things in 2022 for all of us, I hope. Lauren, I think that, first of all, that fucking sucks. Just acknowledging that fucking sucks. Sometimes I have a tendency to go into fix-it mode too quickly, and I forget to acknowledge how bad that fucking sucks, and that fucking sucks. The fact that your dad almost died of COVID, but he didn't, while, of course, COVID and almost dying is a low, I hope that means he's still with us, and if so, that's got to be a high of some sort. It's got to be. Losing your home and belongings in Hurricane Ida fucking sucks. That's fucking sucks. The only positive I can think of that one is that it has nothing to do with you. You didn't make a mistake. You aren't a bad person. You don't have a lot of growth to do. That was the fucking world. And so at least that's no knock on who you are as a human, even though that fucking sucks. And things are never going to be normal again. They might not, but they might be different. They might even be better one day. We don't know what tomorrow brings. And the fact that you're still here, we're really grateful for that. I'm so sorry that this has been such a tough year for you. And I really hope for better in 2022 for you and for all of us. So thanks, Lauren, for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Streamlabs in, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Let's talk about a very obvious high for me. An extremely obvious high for me is the World Girls and Live at the Roxy and all of the opportunities I had to connect with you guys this year. The World Girls, it's a twofold thing. It's the actual World Girls, and then it's the World Friends and Rockstars community. Just specifically D and Steph are such a high for me because I found my people, and I genuinely, like, they're my lifers, and I would be so fucked and down without them. And then this community, I would have been completely alone this year without you guys. And I feel like we really have gotten to connect and share and love and live. It sounded like a sappy fucking card, but I mean it, together. But it's not just Live at the Roxy, and it's not just the World Girls. It's also all the other opportunities I had with Only Stupid Answers this year. I'm so grateful to DJ Wooldridge for keeping me on that show, even after Sam was no longer able to do it. To SEN, where I got to hang out with some really fucking great people. Thank you to Christian for always keeping me employed and helping me out in all ways and surrounding me with great people. I loved working with everybody on that show, with Goddard and Alex and Malcolm and Brett and Kate and Steph and Sabrina and Winston when he's on and Roka when he's on. And it's just been a really lucky morning show that I'm glad to be a part of. To Rotten Tomatoes, and every time they brought me in, and Mark Ellis, who got me over there, and Lucy, who books me on those shows, and Christian Rubacaba, and all of my friends over there who have been great. And Jacqueline, who hosts the show with Mark, and everybody over there is awesome. So just to all of my streaming opportunities here, fucking huge high. I know it just sounded like an acceptance speech, and it was not that. It's just, I'm really grateful to you guys, the community, and to the people who have kept me employed, and which is you guys, and to the opportunities that I did get to keep in my life, even though we're in a fucking panini, which is, as you guys know, what I call the pandemic. So that would be one low and one high for me. I want to share your guys' lows and highs. So Streamlab them in, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, super chat them in. Going to another low of mine. This one fucking sucked. Every time Grammy and Papa were in the hospital. So in 2021, we were in the hospital 3 different times. In January, when Grammy had fallen. In June and September with Papa, when he was really unwell. And every time that you go into the hospital with people in their 90s, it's fucking scary and it's draining. And when you are advocating for people, as you guys know I do, it is like every second you feel like somebody's fucking life is on the line, and it is your responsibility to make sure that goes well. So to the 3 times in 2021 I spent in the hospital with Grammy and Papa, every moment of that feels like nothing else in the world matters, and life is still moving on, and you're just like, fuck this. So that would be the low. The high would be every time they got out of the hospital. You guys know I try to share those moments with you, so I post them on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And every time they would reunite together, because they weren't able to be together because of the panini. Usually they're at the hospital with one another, but they were not able to do that this time because I was the only person who was allowed in the room. So every time they would reconnect and reunite, it feels like $1 million fucking bucks. And they get home, and it's like, I have the 2 strongest grandparents of all time, and they've been married for 74 fucking years. And even throughout, what I think is so incredible is, even throughout all of Papa's dementia, the one thing he never forgets, never for 1 second, is Grammy. Most likely because they've been together for 74 years. And that is, it's incredible how, like, she's his safe space. And no matter like how bad the day is, he knows who she is. And it's kind of fucking incredible. So the coming home from the hospital is always one of my favorites. So that's a dual part low and high. Because, oh boy. Going to another low. This one's always weird to talk about on the internet, but having everyone sing about my breakup all over the internet, it's crazy how somebody else's high can be a low for you, because consistently my ex just continues to post, as he should. It's his music, it's his world, he's an artist. Music about me, multiple songs about me this year. And every time I hear it, I feel sick. It reminds me of one of the worst days of my life. And I, to watch somebody smile and belt that out sucks. And then to watch all of you guys at home, as you should, sing along to it and repost it and sing every word of my breakup. I can't believe how hard that is. Um, I wish nothing but success for him because I will always love him. But the the consistency of watching people smile and drink and laugh and belt out every word to multiple songs of my relationship, it sucks. It fucking sucks. And again, that is somebody else's high, and I'm very happy for his high, but it's a lot. It's a lot to be somebody who dated an artist and then to have song after song come out about me, and have him like scream the lyrics and then have people know them, and to call my dad and to have his girlfriend playing the song in the background and to open up my phone and to have some of my closest friends singing every word. It's really fucking hard. So it's not me asking anybody to do anything, but just talking about lows of the year. Every time that song plays, it's a low for me. I feel like, especially that one song, but there's three of them that just, yeah, just fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. So that, going to a high, spending time with my family at Thanksgiving. I was able to be home for almost 2 weeks. I was home, I think, for 11 days, and that was really fucking cool. I think one of the things that has come out of the panini that's been good, although fucking A, there's not much, but one of the things that's been good is that I have I used to, when I used to go to Boston, I would go there in 2 or 3 day increments or stints. So I would go for a weekend or a long weekend. Even if it was Thanksgiving, I would fly in on Wednesday, leave on Saturday, and I I really have loved that the panini has shown me, like, that I can work from home and therefore I can work from there. And so even if I'm working, I can go home for a week. I could go home for 2 weeks if I need to. And being 3,000 miles away from my family, that's so incredible and essential, and has been such a blessing to me to remember that if I home is there for me, and if I want to go home, I can. And that's really lucky. So that was a very big high for me, and I'm really grateful that I have a family that I can go home to. And I don't know if you guys remember, but my house was we were supposed to sell the house, and then um, things turned up a little bit, and so just the fact that I have like my childhood room and my family there, it means everything to me. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Some of you guys have sent in your highs and lows, and I'm so grateful to hear them. Let's see what's going on with you. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Ryan Payne in the house. He says, my top 5 highs. Ooh. 5, attending Scum and Villainy Schmodown tapings. Super cool. 4, going to Spectacular. Awesome. 3, meeting so many Schmodown fans and players. Cool. 2, getting to sail on the Jericho cruise. I love this. This all has to do with this all I know about all these things. 1, meeting you, Steph and Doreen, and being part of the World Friends. Ryan, what a fucking top 5. What a fucking top 5. Ryan, bringing that high for me this moment. You're awesome, Ryan. Glenn Caesar says, you were correct, Roxy. It's Nia. Highs, I'm alive and fairly healthy. CP symptoms are good, and I can still move and walk well. On a sort of related note, being with the Rockstar and World Friends, lastly, remembering getting to talk about Golden Sparkles. Love that, Glenn. Love that. Jimmy Nails in the Streamlabs says, this year has been a genuine challenge to change my character through physical and mental aggravations, but I have persevered thanks to you guys and thanks to you, Jimmy. Roxy, seeing you keep going keeps me going. If you are reading or hearing this, you are deeply loved by this asshole. You're not an asshole, Jimmy. You're awesome. And I really appreciate that. Perseverance, man. It's like the word of the year. Glenn Caesar says, May you imagine lots of golden sparkles of love flowing into you, especially your chest and throat area as you breathe in. Let's try it. And breathe out. Ooh, all the yucky energies. I hope lots of yellow hearts and green hearts fill you, Roxy and Rockstars, for happiness, joy, and healing. Thank you, dear. Ryan Payne says, obviously, COVID is the biggest low of 2021 as it affected so many events and concerts I wanted to attend. Another low was not having financial stability or own or rent a car. That's so fucking tough. Finally, the canceled World Girl show still pisses me off. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, so that's definitely a low of mine, Ryan, that I can get to right now. Having to cancel the World Girls live event. This was such a fucking kick in the nuts for a lot of reasons. As we've put distance on it, I'm so bummed because Steph D and I all had different thoughts about what we should do, but we are a collective and we make decisions as the three of us. And I'm not sure if I was an individual what I would have done. So I'm grateful to have them to be in a team with, in a partnership with. But I will say that I felt so defeated by this because it felt like giving into. This is a really fucked up way of putting it, but I had a boss who used to always say this to me: don't give in to terrorism. And while this is clearly not that, it did feel like I got bullied out of doing something I wanted to do. And I don't appreciate or respect that. And we lost some valued members of our community who I guess I thought they were but they were one kind of person, and I guess they weren't. I also have always talked on the show about apologies, and the fact that it's specifically a couple people just never apologized for like the fucking coup they tried to set over the World Girls. And when I've said to you guys so many times, like, everybody fucks up. All it takes is to just sack up and say you're sorry. If you are, it means that they clearly aren't sorry. And that like crushes me. Especially because I feel like I put a lot of time and energy into you guys and really talk about being the best us that we can be. And the fact that I feel like I was so connected to a couple of people, it's one person in particular, but a couple of them where I feel like I gave so much of my life to this person, and they just, at the end of the day, didn't give a flying fuck about me. And that sucks. So canceling that event, not being able to do that. And also it sucks for a lot of reasons. We weren't able to do it for you guys, the ones who had already bought their tickets, who were coming, and it just sucked. It fucking sucked. So altogether, that was one of the worst weeks ever for the World Girls. And for me, just somebody who's worked for 12 years in this space, who thought I had finally been able to put on my own live show and that people were going to be excited and want to come support and see me, and that's the way it went down. Fuck that. Fuck that. It gives me cold feet to ever do something like that again. I hope that I sack up and I manage to, but fuck that. So that was a definite low. For a high, on the opposite end of that, one of my biggest highs of my whole life was filming Always Lola. I think you guys know right before that, I was in a extremely, extremely depressed state. You guys had been amazing, but it was just like hit after hit after hit. And this movie gave me so much hope and light in life for my career, and being able to get to just live my dream and be on set and be an actress and be number one on a fucking call sheet and have a sick cast around me who we all still hang out because we love each other, and a director who believed in me, and an entire group of like incredible people, and every day waking up and looking at my sides and being like, wow, this is what I feel like I was fucking born to do this for 2 weeks of my life. it was just everything. It was everything. And I am so fucking grateful for that time. So fucking grateful for that time. And I can't wait to keep you guys posted on when you get to see the movie. I don't think I'll have an update for another few months, but when I have an update, y'all will be the first to know, I swear. So that's an absolute high for me. Not just high of the year, but high of my life. You guys send in yours, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. What are your highs and lows? They can be really small. They can be really big. You could send them in anonymously, or you could share them from yourselves. Another low for me was having the Stars get their ass kicked this year. For the Schmodown, this was my most upsetting Schmodown year ever, but no shit. At the beginning, toward early on in the year, and about, not the beginning, I guess it was the middle, in May, when I found out Draco was not going to be able to be in the Schmodown anymore, or at least for the season, I was like, fuck. I love him so much. And I love Jeff so much. And so this, nothing personal. It just was so, put us in a really tough position. And then when Jeff left, losing my 1 and 2, the 2 of the 3 people that I had kept from the previous season, obviously there was no way we were going to be able to come out on top. And also losing our captain and like the involvement, it just made it really fucking hard for the people who were giving it their all. And, you know, Janine had to do way too much this year. Like, she is the star of all stars. I fucking love her with every ounce of my being. But I had to ask so much of her, and I felt awful for it. Fill in here, do this championship thing, then go right back to doing singles, match after match after match. Like, and she was making so many fucking study guides for people. She is just like a hell of a player in person. And I felt really fucking bad about all those things. Same thing, bringing in Nick and having to throw him right in there. Jacoby, what a fucking stud. Just everybody on the team. Alex had such a fucking challenging year too. And it was hard to see him lose his belt. It was hard to see the Odd Couple lose their belt. Or then Odder Couple. Then it was so hard to see Damon lose his belt and then not be able to gain it back this season. You guys know I've been in the Schmodown for a long time, and I've always been in the top of the teams. And this year it was just not possible. And I felt like I let down all my players and all of the star supporters. And it was just fucking, that fucking sucked. I loved my team this year, but I felt fucking bad for them. And all the hours we put in just was sad. That fucking sucked. Send in your highs and lows, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. I know y'all got them. Let's go to another high. Working on my project with Winston. This year I've gotten closer to Winston. He's one of my best friends. I'm so fucking lucky to have him in my life. And I just feel really grateful to have him as a friend. And then for us to be working on this artistic endeavor together has been really cool. I really believe in the project. And I think that we'll be able to update you in a couple of months on what it is we're working on. And I'm just stoked to be working with him all the time. So that has been really, really great. And Winston is like my guy. I fucking love him. So that has been a definite high of the year for me. In the streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, Joshua says, just want to say thank you for giving me the confidence in my size and helping me be proud of myself. Having a micro penis is a huge high for me. So thank you, Roxy. That's fucking awesome, Joshua. It was a low for a long time, but you changed that, and I'll never be able to thank you enough. Fuck yeah, Joshua. Everybody send bunnies for Joshua and his self-confidence like a fucking king. We love to hear it. It's awesome. Fuck yeah. A major low for me, all the anti-Semitism. And I know that I said I wasn't going to talk politics, but this one obviously directly affected me all the time on the internet. You guys remember everybody was sending me swastikas for months, and still sometimes people will find me and send me swastikas, and they'll send me death threats and videos of Jews getting beaten up in the street. And it's fucking scary and sad and frustrating. And even when I was in Vegas, somebody said something anti-Semitic to me, and wherever I go, because I do rep being Jewish so hard, I am a target and it fucking sucks. So that's another very obvious low was fuck that. I mean, just it's fucking shitty. I'm getting out of here in the next 5 minutes, so send in your Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Because anti-Semitism can't win. Let's talk about a couple highs. High of mine, Kevin building me the studio with my friend Stephen Lemieux and Kevin Undergaro. I think it's a huge level up from doing it at the kitchen table. And the World Girls have been able to film in here all the time. You guys can hear me better, see me better. And while it was expensive for me and remains to be expensive to me because of all the electric and stuff, he was able to give me so much and make this happen. So it's so fucking cool. I have a home studio. I mean, guys, I've made it. I have a home studio. Fucking cool. Pretty excited about that. A low. Okay, another low, getting evicted. That was this fucking year. That sucked. That sucked. My landlords were such pieces of shit, and I never missed a single payment. And they evicted me because they had an inspection done, and my place didn't pass inspection, and they didn't want to put me up like they have to legally. And so they evicted me so that they could do the work and not put me up somewhere. And that fucking sucked. That fucking sucked because it was in the middle of a panini and we had to like scramble to do everything. And remember, they like wouldn't help me when I had my when my hot water was turned off, and I think they planted fucking rats there, but they wouldn't help with the rat situation, and they like were fucking with me so hard. So I had to leave, and it sucked. So that was fucking shitty. But a high of that was moving into this much nicer place where my landlord is a doll who I've literally met one time and never deal with. And when I ever email about her or anything, she fixes it right away. And this place has more space. And I just, I took that low and I made it a high. So fuck yeah, fuck yeah. They did have an eviction moratorium in LA, Jimmy Nails, and I tried to go through it. And then my landlord started fucking with me. And I was like, I need to get out of here because they were not helping with the rats, and my water was cold and they cut it off at some point. And it was like, because they paid my utilities. That's how it worked where I was, and utilities were included, and they were fucking with my utilities. So that's fucked up. And I could have probably sued them. But as you guys know, I just don't want that fucking energy. It was better to just get the fuck out, even though I wanted to stick it to them so bad. But I did not. Let's see. Only here for a couple more minutes. What do you guys got? Brandy says, some of the biggest highs have been finding my friends here and getting to take a trip with them and get to hug them. That's so great, Brandy. Fuck yeah. And this year, finding love, Justin. I never thought I could feel this way. Yes, Brandy. Yes, Brandy. Just remember, no matter who we're upset with, remember who your friends are. Because all right, that's all I'll say. But I love that. And I love that you found your love. And I love that you feel this way. And mazel tov, Brandy, my babe. Jimmy Nail says another high, the possibility high was meeting a person who gives me butterflies, who gets me through this scene, who I met through the scene. Oh, yeah. Talking to the same person every night and just reveling in the feeling, reveling in the feeling. Sorry, Jimmy, I keep butchering this. It's such a good feeling. I love the childlike glee they bring out of me. That's awesome, Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy. Mike K says, I was losing my virginity this year. LOL. Fuck yeah, Mike K. I'm glad it went well. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Ken Put says, many highs for me, but mostly it was having my roommate / friend of 40 years fully recover from his heart attack sober. So great. Sober. That's so great. Watching him be able to get back to work and play disc golf with me. That's awesome. Also, you and the Rockstars for being there for me. It helped me like myself. Well, you should, because we all like you. You're awesome, Ken Put, and I appreciate you sharing those things. Hell yeah. Glenn Caesar says, hope you remember to say to yourself, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm fully unique. My story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Being kind, caring, and fully unique makes both you and I humane, and it goes a fire to be near. Thank you for those, Glenn. Get in your Streamlabs, your highs and your lows. I want to hear from you all. Get it in. Okay, a couple of other ones that I wanted to share. So let's go to another high. My brother coming out here for the first time in 4 years to visit me, and my sister coming out here for my 30th birthday. Both my siblings visited me this year. That has not happened in years. They came separately. My sister coming for my 30th so that I wasn't alone for a single second of it was so fucking nice. I was really stressed about turning 30. But surprisingly, it's not a low on my list though, because fuck it, I'm 30. But her coming out here and us going to Santa Barbara and a party, because in July, I remember things were pretty good and all those things. It was just fucking great. And that was awesome. And my brother coming out and being here and staying with me, and just he hadn't visited me in years and years. It was really wonderful. And so that was very, very lucky. Yeah. Yep. Very, very lucky. And the last thing that I wanted to give as a high, despite what happened this year, is getting vaccinated and getting Grammy and Papo vaccinated. Though that felt like in those moments, I felt like we were going to be fucking okay. And it was such a great, great thing to be able to do. And I think that it saved a lot. I know it saved a lot of people's lives, but saved a lot of my loved ones' lives. The fact that I'm so lucky that I have a family of all science people. Not that they do science, but they believe in science. So my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, my grandparents on both sides, everybody is triple vaxxed. And that prevents us from dying from this fucking disease or illness. So just a lot of love for the vaccines. And that was a definite high. I remember getting Grammy and Papo. It was so hard to get it. And my friend Jenna is the one who made the appointment for them. And it was like this huge, beautiful moment. I was like, fuck yeah, we've done it. We did it. And then all those fucking idiots out there who wouldn't get vaccinated anyway. But that's not part of the high. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, getting your last minute highs and lows before we get out of here. Glenn Caesar says, I hope you live in serenity and actually get to see and feel or perceive the yellow and green colored energies and sparkles of happiness and joy manifesting in your day-to-day life today, tomorrow, and beyond. You're uplifting, a priceless treasure, and an inspiration. Thank you, Glenn. And thank you to all of you guys. I have an official World Girl meeting coming up in a couple of minutes. So I'm getting out of here very soon, but send in those last minute highs and lows. I want to share them with the world. They deserve to be heard. Susie Easton, my girl, says, my high and low was my breakup with my boyfriend of almost 5 years. Sad, but so necessary, and I'm thriving. Yes, Susie. It is sad, but the fact that you're thriving. Other highs is all my times watching you and getting vaccinated. Susie, fuck yeah, my OG Susie. You're amazing, and I'm sorry to hear about the breakup, but usually they are for the best, and I'm glad that this one was. PLD in the Streamlab says, hi, my first edible and getting to hang with one of the best communities or greatest communities around. Wow, your first edible. Fucking cool. It's a fucking cool year. Low, that community involves Jake. PLD, come on, you can't say it. Love you, Rocks. Here is to a meteoric rise. Meteoric rise. Is that how you spell it? In 2022. I butcher words for a living. You guys know that that's the truth. You know that's the truth. Glenn Caesar says, to close this show on a high, I hope that 2021 ends on a high for all of you as well. Cheers to Fuck Yeah News, love, laughter, and lots of childlike laughter for us in each of our days or weeks or months, and even our years. Glow in your flow. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. All right, my friends, I am getting out of here. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and lid. You don't want those buffoons. Don't forget to leave your highs and lows in the comments if you're watching after the fact, or if you're watching live and you didn't put them in the Streamlabs. I want to hear them. I'm going to read every single one of them. I want to especially know your highs, but your lows too, because I'm here. Don't tremble the Holocaust. We know that was one of my lows. Brett Miles, Jonathan, Rest of the Cops, kill Breonna Taylor. Another fucking massive low. That still hasn't been done yet. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay sane. And good luck and good night. What did she just say? Whatever, later. Cheers to many more highs.